using your passion to create money. All right? So if you have intentions, or if you have plans of starting a business, of owning a business, of growing a business, of venturing into any form of income generating venture, the first thing that you must think about or you must consider is this what you want to do? All right? Is this what you want to do? And I always say that if you don't love what you're doing, then it's just like dating a madman on the street. If you don't love what you are doing, it's like imprisoning yourself against the laws of the land. That means that you decide to lock yourself up in a prison when nobody has arrested you. So anything that you are doing that does not interest you, it does not motivate you, does not make you happy, you don't have that passion for it, it's like being in prison or marrying somebody for the rest of your life that you don't love or you don't even feel attracted to. That is how horrible it can look. All right? So the first thing that you must think about is, what is passion? If you're using passion, I'm saying that creating wealth or making money with your passion. So the first thing I want you to think about right now, that is the point one. Write down what a passion is. All right, so what is your passion? Write down what your passion is. Some of us, they love to cook. Some of us, they love to interact with people. Some of us also, we love to travel around. Some of us, we love to read. Some of us, we love to take care of the sick. Some of us, we love to do, into certain negotiations. Like me, I love negotiating. I love interviewing people. I love to see investment that is growing. I love to see my work at work. You understand? So that is my passion. So what is your passion? So what is passion? Passion basically is a strong, uncontrollable emotion towards an activity or towards an item. Okay, I'm not here to make book long, but so I want to be as practical as much as possible. What is your passion? What do you want to do? What can you do that you love to do, that even if you don't get nothing out of it, even if you are not paid, you will still do it? Few moments before we came on live, I wrote on the social media page that if you were living in a desert and there's this sand and wind only, okay, would you still do business? Would you still do business if you live in a desert? If you say no to this, then you're not a businessman. Then you don't love to do business. One time somebody was sent to a village with a bag or a sack full of shoes. And the one who owned the shoes and who owned the store asked him, please go and see if you can sell these items. The guy returned back to the owners and said, I realized that the whole village, nobody wears shoes. So that means it would be unwise for us to sell our shoes there. And he came back. We sent the second person onto the same place, the same village, the same town. And he came back and said, wow, boss, what a privilege. This is a great opportunity for us. The whole village, nobody wears shoes. That means that if we can target each person wearing our shoes, that means the entire village with over 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 people will be buying our shoes and be wearing them for the first time. So business, it is not the absence of a product. Business is the absence of the people. Let me say this again. It's not the absence of the people. Excuse my language. Maybe I'm just misquoting this. It's not the absence of the people. It's the absence of a product that makes business. So anytime that you find yourself in a place like what I just said, like a desert, and you find yourself that these people don't normally buy sachet water. They normally use what do you call it? They use the water that you draw from the well, right? And so the absence of a product makes it viable for you to be able to sell and market your product. That is very important for me. That you need to understand that anytime you desire to get into any form of business, anytime you desire even to venture into any form of investment, the first thing that you must consider is the availability of people, the absence of the product in that vicinity, in that community, in that environment. It makes you get a greater advantage over anything else. All right, so we are going back to what I was discussing, passion. What is your passion? Write it down, find out if there is that uncontrollable strong desire even for you to do a particular activity or for you to pursue a particular product. That becomes a passion. We have had investors, entrepreneurs, businessmen that have lived almost their entire life without a single revenue coming out. They have survived even leaving their passion to their fellow generation. I mean, the following generation, their children and their children's children. They have been able to survive even without generating nothing out of it in that immediate moment. But then the long term and the long benefit is that because it's born out of passion, because it's born out of desire, strong desire, because it's born out of an uncontrollable, unsearchable passion to achieve something. They don't care about the money. They don't care about the fame. They don't care about the interest. They don't care about what people say or think. All they want to do is that they want to make themselves happy by helping people. By helping people. All right? So in the attempt to help others, that has made them to become successful financially. All right? Do you know the kind of challenges that I've gone through even in doing these seminars? When I started doing this in 2012, when I used to host programs for free, even in East Legon, even in, I started in Takoradi at the Snake building. And I remember my father and Emmanuel to me. If anybody is in Ghana who knows Emmanuel to me, I had to pay the man almost $5,000 to show up in a seminar to come and speak when me, myself, my business is struggling, because I love to teach and I love to help and I love to empower the community that I live in. So I was doing this even though I had my own challenges, but then I felt it was right. It was the right time, it was the right moment for the people, the youth, the citizenship of Takoradi or Ghana to be able to understand the concept of entrepreneurship, the concept of all this. And that was where I had my first encounter. All right. Moving forward, we held a series of them even in East Legon, close to this hotel on the Abedipele house, right? I've forgotten the name of the hotel, if I could remember. So we had series of this meeting, takeover conference, and we were gathering people and they were coming for free. Sometimes I had to pay for a whole church buses, to take the whole church even to the avenue and pay for their TNT back just because I wanted to achieve something in my prime time. So we did this for a couple of times, and then Zenith Bank came in, and then NTN came in, and then we had other business entities that started coming in, all right? What it means is that you don't need to start a business or do or pursue a passion only with the sole motive of gaining something out of it, okay? Money comes after you have fulfilled your passion. Money only sets in when you have fulfilled your people's interest. The people's interest. The people's interest. The people's interest. Never consider that. Never forget that. But consider this very carefully. All right? So consider what your passion is. Can you survive? Can you do it with or without you being paid? If you can do that, that becomes your passion. All right? Number 2, identify your passion. All right? So if you now know what a passion is, identify your passion. I wrote this down. What do you love to do? What do you love to do? Is it playing of games? It's also a passion. Is it football? It's also a passion. What do you love to do? Is it even sleeping? It's also a passion. Is it eating? It's also a passion. Is it building a structure? It's also a passion. Is it construction technicalities? It's also a passion. Is it using computers? It's also a passion. Anything that you find happiness in doing is also a passion. So what do you love to do? How do you see yourself now? Do you see yourself in a certain form of becoming a doctor, a nurse? Do you see yourself as maybe a speaker? Do you see yourself as a business owner? Do you see yourself in whatever capacity that you see yourself? I always say this in my words, okay? What you don't see yourself to become, you cannot achieve it. Whatever that you don't see yourself in that capacity, you don't do what? You can't achieve it. If you don't see yourself as a millionaire, you cannot invest because you'll be scared. If you don't see yourself as a wife material, you cannot find yourself a boyfriend, moreover to find yourself a husband. If you don't see yourself as a mother, you cannot have children, or you cannot go through the process of having what? Children. All right? So whatever you see yourself is what becomes of you. So what do you see yourself in becoming? All right? The third thing is, do you see yourself doing this kind of job or this kind of business even if you are not paid? Would you survive doing this kind of business or job even if you are not paid? The last but not the least is that, what would you do for humanity in your entire life that will cost you your life? What can you do for humanity that even if it takes your life, you wouldn't think twice? That's the last thing that will leave that with you, all right? Okay, so after you have identified what a passion is, after you have known what it is to becoming passionate about what you are doing, now you need to grow your knowledge in what you are doing or what you intend to do or what you are desiring to become. You need to grow it. Listen, it takes a lot to become somebody like Usain Bolt. It takes a lot to become somebody like Michael Jackson. It takes a lot in becoming somebody's wife. It takes a lot to becoming me, Joris, as I stand here. If you call my wife and you ask her, it's not easy to deal with me. So you may desire to become somebody's missus, but then there is something that goes with it that is called responsibilities, that if you don't have what it takes, you may give up. So your passion is everything. Now that you know what your passion is, now that you have identified what you think that you can live without it, okay? Now, my consideration is that you need to learn on the job. Don't get out of your mother's house and say you want to go and start a business, when you have not gone through training, when you have not gone through apprenticeship, when you have not gone through mentorship, when you have not gone through studying, when you have not gone through exercise of knowledge, with or without passion, you cannot survive without experience. I have asked a lot of people, listen, come and work with me. They only try to give excuses. They try to give reasons why they want this. If you don't give them this, they can't do this, and they give you all that. I have been to teacher training college, and the first thing that they taught me was improvisation. So whether GES sends you materials to teach the children or not, they expect you as a teacher to find other materials in trying to communicate your teachings to the children. And there's no excuse. You must fulfill your duty as a teacher before the end of the term or before the end of the year. They don't have no excuses. And that is it. So improvising is a form of experiencing what it is to live with or without it. So what am I saying? I'm saying that if you have identified your passion, identify a mentor, find yourself books, look for avenues, businesses, business people, and go to them. Ask for internship, ask for training, subject yourself under that form of training, okay? And develop that thing, that next thing that you want to become, that business person that you want to become in that particular field. I don't know what it is, but that thing that you want to become, there's always somebody somewhere who is far advanced in years ahead of you. A computer engineer, electrical engineer. Identify somebody and subject yourself under them. Learn that trade, learn that business, learn that trade, build that capacity. Because in building that capacity of experiencing, that is what makes you an expert. I started doing business and failing so many times. Ask me any kind of business in the world, and I'll tell you that either I've tried and failed, or I'm still in it and I've succeeded. It is selling of phone cards. It is selling of fresh fish. It is selling of kinky. Is it hairdressing? All these things through my stepmother, I was able to grow and develop all these things. All right? If I've been able to survive through selling on the street of Kofodia, kitchenwares, selling bowls and plates on the street, selling of fresh fish and all that, what kind of business will ask me to do sales and marketing? I will say no. All right. So never forget, put yourself, subject yourself under training, develop yourself, and make sure that you understand and know. Even though this is the area that you want to do, you know it, you have the passion for it. Thank you. My pastor is here, Reverend Alexander Bochi, for joining me. Okay. Thank you. God bless you. Pastor, please, we'll get in touch. I need to speak with you. Thank you. All right. So subject yourself under training. Find a mentor. Give yourself time of experiencing what it takes to becoming what you desire and dream of becoming. Do you know why when Jesus found out that there was a calling upon his life, the Bible says, and Mary and Joseph were looking for him, but his family found him under the feet of the teachers, of the professors of the law. And they were asking questions, and he was asking questions. Do you know what that is? That is subjecting yourself under the laws. When Jesus walked to John the Baptist and said that you need to baptize me, he said, I'm not worthy to carry your shoe. He said, you must do it. You must subject yourself to the authority that is more experienced in the field that you want to pursue. That is if you don't want to fail. So if you are a pastor and you think that you are called, you are anointed, you are baptized, And so you want to become bigger and greater than those you came to meet in 100 years and 50 years and 20 years in the game. Listen, you're exposing yourself to unnecessary attacks from the powers that be. Okay, so learning from mentors, learning from experiences, learning from all these people equips you. That is why Alpha is going through what is going through. Alpha Prayer Hour, you know what is going through. He could have avoided. Why is the same thing not happening to NSPPD in Nigeria? Why? Think about it. Why? Why is the same thing not happening to these people? The first thing that NSPPD, Pastor Jerize, did when he started doing this prayer thing online was to go to Ashimolo and these top prayer people and subjected himself, made them fathers and made them advisors, and they keep on telling exactly how to go about the ministry. So don't say Ghana, oh, everything you do, they want to mess it up, they want to spoil it. No. Ghanaians are afraid of training. Ghanaians are afraid of mentorship. Ghanaians want quick achievements. And they are afraid even to subject themselves to go through that processes. Processes. It's called processes. Jesus said, why, mother, why are you asking me to turn this water into wine when you know that it's not my time? When you know that it's not my time. There should be a moment and time for your exposure. But be careful if your time and moment is not up. You'll be exposed unnecessarily and go through unnecessary battles. All right? So that is subjecting yourself under what? Under mentorship. Now, when you have gone through that trainings and all that, whatever achievement, whatever thing that you want to achieve, okay, you should see yourself after going through all the things that I've taught you. Make sure that you call yourself an expert. Brand yourself. How do you become an expert? An expert is documentation of knowledge and experiences that you have had in your past years. Some of us are sales and marketing gurus, but they are still working for people. Some of us are experts in bakery and pure water sales, and they are still subjecting themselves working for people. Some of us can become even nurses who are experts in their field, authority in their field, own their own hospital, own shares in the businesses, but yet still working for people. Some of us can become whatever there is that they are doing as an expert or coach in that area, but the fear of owning, the fear of taking the next step is not allowing them to become. All right? So I'm saying that document your experiences and document your trainings. That becomes your archive. That becomes your manual, even becoming a coach, an expert in that area. You have now become what? A coach authority in that area. What do? Make sure that after you have documented all these things, make sure that you sell them. Sell your gift. Sell your gift. I don't know why some of you are running away from social media. I don't know why some of you are running. You can be on social media without being only just being on social media. It's called branding. Be exposed. Be visible. Be known. Get good graphic designers. Get good experts in the field of media, social media. If you don't know it, if you don't have it, inbox me. Inbox me. This is one of my areas. Social media experts. And we can guide you. We can direct you. We can help you. Even to expose yourself. Expose yourself. Listen, I'm going to teach on the areas to consider in 2023. Don't forget. The businesses to consider in 2023 tomorrow, and we're going to finish on how to fund your business. All right. So I'll end up by saying that after you had invested even in your documenting of your interest, your passion and experiences, now there's the time for you to sell. Sell, place a value on your gifts, place a value on the people that you're helping and the people that you're supporting, the people that you're encouraging, and this becomes a form of money that will come to you so that you can reinvest you can reinvest to bring you more revenue. All right.